we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area. The first subject is unlikely film trailers.
The new all-female Ghostbusters. The CGI looks amazing because we saved 30% on actors' wages. It's the autoerotic asphyxiation thriller, Die Hard.
Very good. OK, next topic. Unlikely things to hear on a makeover show.
When Susan approached us, she was overweight, she had terrible hair, and her self-esteem was at rock bottom. But now, thanks to our team, she's got a new kitchen. Oh, we just did a spruce up, really. You know, we dusted, got rid of the cobwebs, sorted out the curtains downstairs, and, yeah, I'll probably shag her now.
You wouldn't hear in a nature show.
The best way to tell the difference between an Indian and an African elephant is that one of them is an elephant.
Hello, I'm not an elephant.
Told you. The gibbon is widely considered to be the most frequent masturbator in the entire animal kingdom. We'll see about that. As the three lions circle the female, we ask, when will footballers learn that no means no?
OK, the next topic is unlikely chat-up lines.
Hey, are you a parking ticket? Because I picked you up on the street and now I can't afford to pay you. Oh, so when you sit there seductively licking your lips, that's sexy. But when I do it, I'm weird and should get off your lips. Well, I hope you're nothing like my ex-girlfriend. She was so demanding. Always asked me to text her when I got in. That's how small my penis is. You've got an arse that just won't quit, despite calling an election and losing a majority. If you were on an Indian menu, you would have 3 chilies next to you, because you make me shit myself.
Lines you wouldn't hear in a kids' film.
Please, sir, can I have some more? 318 seats isn't enough for a majority. Wow, you sure look sleepy after eating all that chocolate, Scooby. Scooby?
Things a sport commentator would never say.
8 no balls in a row. You join us for the women's 100-metre final. The referee there taking down Ronaldo's number. Not really the time or the place, but good to see we've kicked homophobia out of football. Incredible delivery from Serena Williams. The baby came out in 7 minutes and she didn't even shit herself.
OK. The next topic is unlikely lines from a thriller.
Boss, I've got some news about the criminal who's been impersonating Sting. He's turned himself into the police. Mr. Brown, meet Mr. White. I really should learn these diplomats' names. This elevator company is corrupt, and I think it goes all the way to the top.
Unlikely lines from a sci-fi film.
I can't fly this thing without a manual. Forget about a manual. He's not coming back. I've been asleep for 1,000 years. Cryogenically frozen in time, and now I wake up and see, oh, someone's drawn a cock and balls on my face, haven't they?
OK, the next topic is things you wouldn't hear on a political discussion show.
On tonight's programme, we'll be discussing the NHS, fracking and affordable housing. Only joking, it's fucking Brexit again. We keep trying ways to stop ISIS and we keep failing. So I ask you this, has anyone tried a petition? Yes, we had a question from a man wearing glasses and a red and white striped jumper. Does anyone know where he's sitting?
Unlikely things to hear at the World Cup.
Well, it's official. England are out. And we can go back to identifying people with flags in their windows as racist. Oh, and that is a huge tackle. That has got to make it more difficult to rollerblade. Well, we didn't think it was possible, but somehow Gareth Southgate has managed it. England eliminated before the group stage. That's a shocking miss from Jesus. They are going to absolutely crucify him for that.
Next topic is things you wouldn't hear in a charity appeal.
The thing with a disease like HIV is that many people are just ignorant. Most people don't even realise that HIV is just Roman for high five. With your money last year, we took this homeless man and completely transformed him into a homeless woman.
Unlikely things to write to TV channels.
Dear the News, I don't know how many times I will write this to you, but next time you do the weather, please will you say, spoiler alert. Dear BBC, I saw a man flossing on one of your panel shows and now I want to kill myself.
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to hear on a travel documentary.
After a long journey, I'm here in Chad. Great to experience an authentic American frat party. I'm here on safari in Africa, and next to me is a lynx, and, yep, smells exactly like a 15-year-old virgin. This really is a once-in-a-lifetime trip. I'm here at Dignitas. And the locals let me swim with dolphins, which I later found out was their way of telling me I'm terminally ill.
Rejected exam questions.
If an apple a day keeps a normal doctor away, how many apples would you have needed to defeat Harold Shipman? This is your PE practical exam. For 30 marks, bully that little pale boy until he has to become a comedian. How fresh is Dara, really?
What do you say? What?
So, you just turned 16, did you? All right.
OK, the next topic is unlikely lines from kids' film and TV shows.
The brave little toaster's owner was about to take him on his wildest adventure yet, all the way to the brave little bath. So it turns out Flower Pot Men is no longer politically correct, and they will be henceforth known as Bill and Ben, the gays. Kung Fu Panda, the least racist hero of all time, as he is black and white and Asian. But, Quasimodo, what makes you think you need to see a back doctor? I have a hunch.
Things you wouldn't hear on the radio.
Give yourself a spray of Lynx Africa, open up a can of Relentless, sit back in your cargo shorts and relax. This is Virgin Radio. Yes. Coming up, we have got some of the sickest tracks from some of the illest artists around. This is Karaoke on Hospital Radio. At number 2, that was Ed Sheeran with Galway Girl. And now at number 1 for the 50th week in a row, Ed Sheeran with Galway Girl. On Jazz FM, it's a new entry at number 1. It's Skibbity-bap-bap-bibbity-bap-beam. Sorry, I was having a stroke. It's Ed Sheeran, Galway Girl. And we interrupt this broadcast to bring you the tragic news that Aretha Franklin has sadly passed away. And what better way to show our respect for Miss Franklin than with Galway Girl by Ed Sheeran.
OK, the next topic is lines you wouldn't read in a romantic novel.
As he climaxed inside her, John knew he would never be allowed to visit the Statue of Liberty again. After 5 unrelenting hours, James really began to regret making his safe word harder. As he looked at her lower back tattoo of 2 little birds, one word came to mind: swallows. I know I'm supposed to get over you, he said, but it's too difficult. I'm constantly reminded of you every time I look at the nutritional info on a packet of food and I see fat trace.
Unlikely lines from a sci-fi film or TV show.
OK, I've done it. The time machine is complete. Now, your mission is to go back to 1890 and milkshake baby Hitler. So, I'm the blue Power Ranger, that's the green Power Ranger, that's the yellow Power Ranger, and over there is the white the Power Ranger who wears white. We're going to have to open up a wormhole and go back in time. I've just sent a dick pic to my dad. What's that? E.T. phone home? You were doing more than phoning, mate. Brexit means Brexit.
OK, our next topic is commercials that never made it to air.
Do you suffer from erectile dysfunction? Have you tried looking at boobs? STD clinics, because you don't know what you've got till it's gonorrhea. Wind chimes, for when your neighbours don't think you're enough of a fucking prick.
Unlikely lines from a thriller.
Welcome to my haunted mansion. If these walls could talk, I'd almost certainly have masturbated less. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to hand in your badge. A Blue Peter presenter cannot be caught wanking in the garden. Just when I thought the case couldn't get any worse, it didn't. You talking to me? Are you talking to me? No, sorry, Ramesh, you just got a lazy eye. It's quite hard to tell who you are.
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to hear at an award show.
Welcome to the National Car Key Awards. But first, let's take a look at some of the keys we have lost this year. And now for Sat-Nav of the Year. And I can honestly say, without this Sat-Nav, I would not be where I am today. There we have it, the winner of Saudi Thief of the Year. Please, give him a hand.
Things you wouldn't hear over at Tanoy.
And if you look out of the window on your left, you will see Christ the Redeemer, because I've crashed the plane and this is the afterlife. Just a reminder that when we asked you to report anything that doesn't look right, we meant sort of like terrorist stuff, not just a baby wearing ripped jeans. This is your train driver. I don't wish to alarm you, but it seems that we have travelled into space. Now, nobody... nighttime again.
OK. Next topic is unlikely lines from a blockbuster movie.
Oh, shit! Oh, that hurts so much. God, I hate living in Lego World. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius. Sorry? Yes, I did go to private school. How'd you know that? Do you want to know why they call me the Riddler? It's because all of my partners are riddled with STDs.
Unlikely things to hear in a religious programme.
And Jesus was born in a manger, surrounded by sandwiches and cappuccinos, for this was a Preta manger. Welcome to the show in which a man wearing a turban will help you when you can't get through the chain barriers. This is Seek Assistance. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And then he created Eve, but he didn't fancy her, so he switched off his light, because no likey, no lighty.
The next topic is things a sports commentator would never say.
Ronaldo there being booked by the referee for taking his shirt off. He should know the rules by now. You are not allowed to take the referee's shirt off. Judges there all very impressed. A textbook reverse tuck. You're watching RuPaul's Drag Race. And he has rested the ball there perfectly on the cushion. This really is a lovely new saddle they've made for Lance Armstrong. Oh, and here they come, running onto the field, completely naked, wearing nothing but shoes. This is an absolute... Sorry? I'm being informed that horses always look like that. This is my first time doing the ground.
Things you wouldn't hear on a breakfast show.
And coming up, we're speaking to 8-year-old coffee aficionado Jasper, who has just claimed the title for Britain's youngest wanker. Today on the show, we're discussing sexism. Why is it that when a woman says she slept with loads of people, she is called a slag? But when I say that, I am called a liar. And now for every lad's favourite part of the show, it's the weather. Over to us, a bloke one. Switch it to Babe Station.
Okay, the next topic is unlikely lines from a Star Wars movie.
Oh, sorry I'm late, everyone. I was just in my bunk having what we refer to here on the Falcon as a hand solo. Oh, my God. Someone's doing a Jedi mind trick on me. I'm not in control of my hand. I think they're trying to send you a message.
Here's unlikely things to hear on a charity show.
Here we see Abdi walking 20 miles just to fetch clean water for his Somalian family. Oh, hang on a second. No, that's Justin Trudeau. Type 1 diabetes. A very serious illness, but don't base your whole act on it.
Here at the Make-A-Wish Foundation...
Commercials that never made it to air.
Want to get compliments on how much weight you've lost? Buy a massive pair of trousers and stand like this all the time. Bat soup. The delicious taste of 6 months off. Superdry. Conveniently named after the effect wearing it has on women. Rhys James, because Ed Gamble's busy.
Okay, the next topic is unlikely lines from a sci-fi movie.
We're going to have to put Gotham City into lockdown. Someone ate Batman. OK, prep the rice chamber. Someone dropped R2-D2 in the toilet and I want to piss off Nigel. The Overlord is pure evil, and he just doesn't care. He knows that every time he presses his buzzer, a child dies. Sorry, don't honey me. You've shrunk the kids.
Unlikely lines from a blockbuster movie.
We need to join forces to become a pantomime horse. You be front. I'll be back. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't kill you. It's illegal. Well, game, set, and match. I can't apologise enough. I see dead people, OK? And they all voted for Sleepy Joe Biden.
Things you never hear in a science documentary.
So I dedicated my entire life to becoming a rocket scientist, only to discover years later that it didn't impress Shania Twain at all. Some say science and religion can't mix. But if not for DNA, we wouldn't have caught these priests. And that was Buzz Aldrin there, talking about, believe it or not, the fucking moon again. Jesus Christ, mate, change it up.
Unlikely lines from a TV detective show.
Yeah, no, it does sound like a lovely trip to Alton Towers. They just sort of meant call me if you remember anything about the case. OK, I'm going to go in there and do the interrogation as normal. Then you come in, ask me which motorway I took to get here, sneeze very loudly, and then tell me things were done differently in your day. Classic good cop, dad cop. Unfortunately, the murderer's latest victim was a teenage girl. It's believed her last words were, ugh, can you not?
Unlikely lines from a romantic novel.
I'm wearing edible underwear, she teased. He ripped off her skirt. Yeah, I think generally that's supposed to be candy. It's just I'm not really in a spag bowl mood. She took him by the hand and led him up to the bedroom. He couldn't believe it. She was about to make his deepest fantasy come true. He was going to get to have sex. As he climbed under the covers, he couldn't believe what he saw. A beautiful woman with long blonde hair, big green eyes and a perfect body tattooed on the arm of a plasterer called Dina. He got down on one knee. "Will you marry me?" he asked. She flushed. "Oh, you should ask my father first." I don't fancy him.
Things a sports commentator would never say.
And there we have it. We finally know who has won the Ashes. Some said a tombola at a funeral was inappropriate, but it's what she would have wanted. And that is exactly why they call him a fox in the box. A great finish, followed by shitting and screaming. And what a fascinating end to the snooker. He went red, then blue, and then the ambulance arrived to take him away.
Unlikely things to hear on a property show.
Now, this clever couple swapped their tiny one-bed for a south-facing, detached 426 bed by simply moving to Benson's for Beds. After this millennial couple stopped buying posh lattes for an entire year, they had saved enough money for one massive latte. Now, you said you wanted to be near a school. How many little ones do you have? OK, how many are you expecting to have? I'm going to have to call the police, sir.
Unlikely lines from a fantasy film or TV show.
The amulet has come to life. You know what this means? Our table at TGI's is ready. Yeah, it turns out those weren't his dark materials. We found his dark materials on a hard drive. He's now on a register. This may look like a normal bookcase, but if I take out this encyclopedia and turn to page 206, there's a diagram of a boobs.
Unlikely dating profile.
46-year-old master of reverse psychology seeks no one. I'm fine on my own. They say nothing worth having comes easily. Well, then how do you explain my dick? Sick of seeing your family? Date me, Meghan Markle.
Unlikely lines from a children's book.
You know, maybe I wouldn't have to keep running and hiding all the time if just once in a while someone would ask, "How's Wally?" And as they looked around at how everyone had been separated at Hogwarts this year, the kids began to realise this sorting hat was incredibly racist. "Oh, well," said bi-curious George. "That didn't hurt nearly as much as I thought it would."
Bad things to hear from your flatmate.
Welcome to your new home. I forgot to tell you that every evening in this flat we watch the Dara O'Brien DVD.
Firstly, the Derby DVD.
Ooh, what have we here? Ah, needs more salt. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. Enjoy your bath. Sorry, so you're kicking me out of the flat just because I'm dangerously obsessed with The Apprentice? Well, thank you for the opportunity. About yesterday. Sorry about when I walked in on you wanking. I'll make sure to wank in my own room from now on. OK, I know you're a bit sick of the last one, but don't worry. I've managed to get the other Dara O'Brien DVD.
Unlikely lines from a costume drama.
Well, I never thought I'd say this, but I think I've fallen in love with a scullery maid. Apparently she grew up in a place called The Dip. I can't go out there in just my garter and corset. What will my wife think? Oh, yeah, is that King Arthur? Hoping you can help. It's not really a sword and a stone thing, more of a cucumber arse situation.
Things you wouldn't hear on daytime TV.
Who have I brought with me today? Thanks for asking, Vernon. It's my Auntie Sue, my mum Carol, and down the end is my gorgeous, gorgeous, soon-to-be stepdad Tony. So, Boris says we're going to close our borders a full 9 months after every other country in the world. Let's see if it's pointless. What do we think of the property? We love it. Of course we love it. We live here. Who the fuck are you? Welcome to our Saturday Kitchen global warming special. And after the break, an emotional Greta Thunberg tries her hand at a baked Alaska.
Unlikely things to hear at Christmas.
Well, it always sparks a great debate as to whether or not it technically counts as a Christmas film. But up next on BBC One, it's Santa's Little Spunkers. Whoa, all right, sorry, Mum, I just fancied turkey for breakfast. How was I supposed to know you were saving it? Well, what a pity. You come out for a nice evening to watch the boys of the NYPD choir, and the evening is ruined by the toothless drunk couple behind you having a homophobic argument.
Things a sports commentator would never say.
And Hamilton finishes the first lap, and he's on to the second lap. He is nailing it in his new job as a lap dancer. He was disqualified yesterday after submitting a urine sample. The urine was clean, it's just no one had asked for one. And the striker's through on goal, and the keeper is coming out. Not really the time or place, but good to see we've kicked homophobia out of football. Look at this, Hamilton is now leading, and I'm being escorted out of the theatre for commentating on a musical.
Unlikely things to hear in the government COVID briefing.
Mr. Hancock, will you stop stalling and just answer the question? It's simple, I'll ask it again. I have no eyes but cannot see. You'll head inside if you see me. What am I? These COVID briefings have been tough, but all I can say is, at least I didn't try and rap in any. Yes, that sounds like a question for our Chief Medical Officer, Chris Whitty. So, Chris, I think we're all wondering, why is it impossible to poo without weeing?
Rejected exam questions.
Philosophy. If a man says he sets the bar high at limbo, is he saying he's good or bad? Welcome to your French oral exam. The swimming pool is closed and the library has burned down. Describe your little day out now. Maths. If Grandma has £1 million in the bank and I'm her only grandchild, why won't she die? This is your politician entry exam. Please avoid answering any of these questions.
Unlikely lines from a blockbuster movie.
You've been bitten by a radioactive ant and deck, and now you are Why-I Man. Yeah, just bear in mind he's got that weird building fetish, so if you build it, he will come. You're telling me I could save the entire world just by installing updates on my laptop right now? Remind me tomorrow. We're gonna need a bigger boat. Or, ideal world, a smaller shark.
Unlikely things to hear on a political show.
Well, it's a British Politics First, but you join us here on Channel 4 for a Party Leaders Naked Attraction special. It has been spreading faster than any of us can manage, but it refuses to wear a condom when you elected it Prime Minister. Transport Minister, will you just answer the question? I repeat, if Thomas the Tank Engine has a mouth, surely that means he also has an anus.
Commercials that never made it to air.
Oh, that noise means someone's at my Ring doorbell. Oh, it's my brother. Well, that's weird. He knows I'm at work. Oh, it's OK. My wife's letting him in. Daddy or chips? Daddy or chips? Please gamble responsibly. Sick of Limescale? Dingy plug holes getting you down? Well, then you should get some perspective, Susan. People are dying. Eggs.
Things you wouldn't hear at an awards show.
And next up at the National Surgeon Awards, Most Improved. And now it's time for Best Sanitised Children's Hand Puppet. And tonight, it's a clean sweep. Wow, I can't believe I've won, once again, Worst Borat Impersonator of the Year. I guess I'd like to start by thanking my dad.
Unlikely things to hear on a medical show.
Well, mister, you're going to have to learn how to hold your drink. We've amputated your arms. So you're saying you've had explosive diarrhea for an entire week? OK, sounds to me like you've got a serious case of oversharing. Yuck! Well, this is the weirdest medical condition I've seen since that Irish guy who presses a buzzer every time he gets a boner. Oh, come on! Yes, Doctor, we will be scattering Nan's ashes at sea so she can be remembered for doing what she loved. Choking dolphins.
Unlikely things to hear in hospital.
I'm afraid you're going to inherit your father's low-functioning pancreas. To be honest, he's written one of the weirdest wills I've ever seen in my life. I see where the confusion's happened. When I said that your grandma had been cured, I meant in the Italian meat sense. Could you pass the focaccia? And if you just bend over, I'll pop my finger into your rectum. All right, well, how do you propose we kill time till the doctor can see her? Thanks to our state-of-the-art technology, we can show you a mock-up of what you will look like in 5 years' time. But this is just an X-ray. Yeah. Well, lesson learned. Never get in an argument with a plastic surgeon. I've just had my arse handed to me.
The next topic is things a sports commentator would never say.
And look at that, a hole in one. And that's the last time the Queen will sit in the front row of the javelin again. She's called one. Well, I hope this isn't the curse of the commentator, but Iorgil Balabantis, Satan rise, West Ham die! And look at him there, taking the knee, in the worst case of cheating the Paralympics has ever seen. And they've scored with the last kick of the game, and the manager is coming onto the pitch. We're all excited, mate, but that's a bit graphic, actually. Now, this American football position is called the tight end. Now, he can go long, he can go inside his man, he's a great ball handler. Sorry, I've got a boner, I've got to go.
Things you wouldn't hear on a quiz show.
And if you do win, what will you spend the money on? Plastic surgery, I imagine. You opted to text your lad's WhatsApp group instead of phone a friend. Are you sure your final answer is, shut up, you nonce? We asked for things a doctor might find in a rectum. You said cucumber. Let's see if it's up there.
Bad people to work with.
Yeah, no, he's all right to work with. It's just he doesn't really contribute much to the conversation. He just waits till you finish speaking, then presses a little buzzer. Sorry, the boss is angry at me for making innocent everyday phrases seem like threats just by cracking my knuckles. Well, I'm going to send him a message. Oh, your camera's off, John. Yeah, if you just switch your camera, just press the button and switch your camera on. Why is it such a big deal? You're a fucking cameraman, mate. Sorry, do you mind if I have tomorrow off? I just checked my diary and, it's my Dolmio day.
Lines you wouldn't hear in kids' films and TV shows.
This isn't a miracle. This is just a homeless guy trying to suck his own dick. Oh, 34th Street. No, Pinocchio, you're not a real boy. That's why they dropped the charges. Dora the Explorer, a girl whose name rhymes with her passion, who is much more popular than our other character, D-Defile. I apologise immediately, I'm so sorry.
Unlikely chat-up lines.
Hey, are you the Bank of England? Because you're showing me reduced interest and it's really starting to stimulate growth. The pleasure is all mine. That's my sexual policy. Some say my penis is like a Christopher Nolan film because it's really long and has a weird twist at the end. Do you want to come up for a drink? You do? Great. Mom, I need the bottom bunk tonight! They call me the Wi-Fi because I'm not strong in the bedroom and I go down on you during Zoom meetings.
Unlikely lines from a thriller.
For years, they've mocked me for mispronouncing words in vital moments. Well, today's the day when I get my revenge. 007, this is the best invisibility system we'd ever created, making you completely unfindable to the enemy. I call it Test and Trace. So, based on your illustration, the murderer was Claire Balding. Oh, sorry, Glenn Moore.
Unlikely things to hear at Christmas.
Personally, I always like to cook my potatoes with fat and ginger, but my kids hate when I call them that. Yeah, so it's a duck inside a turkey inside a pheasant. It's not for everyone, but it's the sort of porn I like. OK, I'll go. What do me, your mum, and a local town's Christmas lights have in common? We all get turned on by Chico. Where did you get these? And all the other reindeer laughed and called him names. But Rudolph had one last trick up his sleeve. Revenge porn. Glenn Moore tickets. Who the fuck is that?
Unlikely lines from a food and drink commercial.
Spam. We're doing TV adverts now because no one will read our marketing emails. Wouldn't it be great if there was a way to eat delicious-tasting food and help the planet? Well, tough. Here at Chipotle, we believe that knowing yourself is the root of all knowledge, which was, of course, first said by the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle. Not really sure we can get away with doing, like, the accent and the song and the slogan anymore, so, bye and bongo.
Things you wouldn't hear on a news programme.
Really? Just the usual, you know, pottering about. Bought a new lawnmower. Sorry, the news, 5,000 dead in national tragedy. It's 10 o'clock. I'm Hugh Edwards. That's Formula One's Hamilton, and this is what's been happening. So that's Hugh E. Lewis and the news on BBC. The victim wished to remain anonymous, which is why he's chosen to do his interview here on Channel 5. It's been announced there will now be a global top 20 chart for the most popular porn videos. What is the world coming to? 3 in Edinburgh and parts of Glasgow, 5 in London, and as low as 1 in Cornwall. Why? How many people have you slept with?
Unlikely things to hear at the Olympics.
Good news, China have said that you can gamble on the Olympics as long as no one mentions anything political. So, you're free to bet. And she steps up for her first javelin throw. That's a very long javelin she's got there, and she's doing the run-up, and she's planted the javelin into the floor, and she's gone flying! Oh, my God, this is the pole vault. This is the pole vault. And now we come to an event that involves swimming, shooting, running while texting, riding an e-scooter, and 2 men holding hands. This is the very modern pentathlon.
Unlikely lines from a blockbuster movie.
Listen, trust me, Freaky Friday seems like a laugh, and then you swap bodies with your mum and your dad comes home drunk. I will kill Bill. As a rule, I'll always do the thing that rhymes with your name. Does anyone know a Chuck? You know, most evil overlords only become evil because they experience some childhood trauma. Is there any chance that could have happened to you, Professor Poopy Willie? I've gathered you here today because you're the world's best superheroes, and I just bought a shit ton of flat pack furniture. Now, Avengers, assemble. And it seems the killer has left his or her fingerprints all over the crime scene. And he or she has also left a considerable amount of semen.
Things you wouldn't hear on a property show.
So, as you can see, she's a bit of a fixer-upper. She needs a lot of work done, but she wants to buy a house with me, so we're looking for a new build. Whoa, 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 when I said you should knock one out, I meant one of the walls. Old-fashioned and some jaw-dropping views. We won't be inviting Kirsty Allsop on Question Time again. I don't know how to tell you this. I know you just completed, but the sweet old widowed man that you bought the house off has, well, he's tied a bunch of balloons to it and floated off into the sky.
Unlikely thing to say at a job interview.
Sorry, how did I hear about the job here at Yahoo Search? I'd rather not say. Well, it's just the rise of big tech, isn't it? Technology taking all our jobs. You know, what did I do before this? I used to stand outside car dealerships going like this. What qualifies me for the role of town crier, I hear ye say?
The next topic is things that would change the mood in the bedroom.
Hey, girl, are you the Edinburgh Comedy Awards? Because I'd like to enter you repeatedly without much success. The name's Glenn, and you'll be screaming for more, because what I give you will not be enough.
Things you wouldn't hear on a makeover show.
And to prove I really do think Kate looks better after the makeover, here I am touching her with a barge pole. When Sarah approached us, she said she wanted a little more male attention, so we've made her tweet something slightly incorrect about Doctor Who. Well, you said you wanted something figure-hugging. This is our producer, Phil.
The last topic is unlikely things to hear on Mock the Week.
Well, now it's time for the final scores. In second place, it's Angela with 12. And in first place, it's Hugh with 48,006,000,000. And the show has been saved by an anonymous benefactor. Still the same old show you know and love. Now time for our first round. Ooh, isn't Putin handsome? Some say this show is scripted and rehearsed, but as a British Asian man... Sorry, that's your one. Sorry. Well, that's it for Mock the Week. As is tradition with BBC execs, once something gets to 17 years old, they're no longer interested. Cancel us.
Commiserations to Rhys James. Good night.